This is the Unit 12 Day 1 video part. Trapezoids, rhombus, and kites. So to find the area of a trapezoid, it's similar to the area of a triangle, but now we have two bases. So we're going to have base 1 and base 2 that have to add together. We still need our heights to be perpendicular. So the area of a trapezoid then is 1/2 times base 1 plus base 2 times the height. So let's try a few problems. In number 8, find the area of the trapezoid. So our bases are going to be 9 and 15. 12 is going to be our height because it's going from one base to the other. So our area is equal to 1/2 9 plus 15 times 12. If you want, you can add the 9 and 15 together first and then multiply, so we get 144 millimeters squared. In number 9, we do not have our height, but we notice that 15 is congruent on both sides. So we have two congruent legs, so this is an isosceles trapezoid. So we can draw in our perpendicular heights. What that's going to do is create two right triangles and a rectangle in the middle. So our smaller base 5 we can bring down here. We need to know what these side lengths in the triangle are. So to find them, we can do 23 minus the other base, which is 18. 23 minus 5 gets us 18. And then we have to evenly split that between two triangles. So half of 18 is 9 and 9. Now we can focus on using one triangle to find our height. So in order to do that, we're going to have 15 squared equals 9 squared plus x squared. So we get 225 equals 81 plus x squared. We get 144 is equal to x squared, so x is 12. So now that we have a height of 12 and the bases are 5 and 23, our area is going to be equal to 1/2 5 plus 23 times 12. So that gets us 1/2 times 28 times 12, which is going to equal 168 meters squared. Area of a trapezoid is 32 meters squared. If the height is 4 and one base is 6, find the length of the other base. So we know that the area is equal to 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times the height. So when we substitute, we get 32 equals 1/2 times 6 plus the base 2 times 4. So we can multiply the half and the 4 together to get 2. So 32 is equal to 2 times 6 plus base 2. We can divide both sides by 2, so we get 16 equals 6 plus base 2. When we subtract 6, base 2 is going to be 10 meters. Our next shape is the area of a rhombus. So the area of a rhombus with two diagonals is 1/2 diagonal 1 times diagonal 2. So remember, a diagonal goes from corner to corner, so this would be diagonal 1 and diagonal 2. They're interchangeable with each other. Remember that your diagonals are perpendicular in a rhombus. That will help you if you don't know all of the information you need. So in number 11, find the area of the rhombus. The perimeter is 52. So if this diagonal is bisected into 5 and 5 and the perimeter is 52, when we divide the perimeter by 4, each side is 13. This is why it's important to remember that they are perpendicular, because we can use Pythagorean theorem to find our other diagonal. So 13 squared equals 5 squared plus x squared. 169 is equal to 25 plus x squared. We can subtract 25 from both sides, so 144 equals x squared. Take the square root, so x is 12. So this is bisected into 12 and 12. So our area is going to equal 1/2. If one diagonal is 5 and 5, that makes the whole length 10. And if the other part is 12 and 12, that would be 24. So when we multiply that together, 20 inches squared. In number 12, the diagonal of a and 70 centimeters. Find the perimeter and the area. So the area is easy because we already know our diagonal. So it's 1/2 times 24 times 70. So when we do that, we get 840 centimeters squared for our area. To get our perimeter, we need to draw a rhombus. We know that the diagonals are bisected. So half of 24 is 12, and half of 70 is 35. So we can do Pythagorean theorem to get our missing side. X squared equals 12 squared plus 35 squared. We can just type 12 squared plus 35 squared into our calculator. We get x squared equals 1,369. When we take the square root, x is 37. So if each side is 37, our perimeter is going to be 4 times 37, which is 148 centimeters. Our last shape then is a kite. So a kite uses the same equation as a rhombus. The area of the kite is equal to 1/2 diagonal 1 times diagonal 2. Okay, again, it doesn't matter which one the diagonals are. Remember that they are perpendicular to each other and that the shorter diagonal is bisected. So in number 13, if we want to find the area of the kite, we know that this diagonal, because it's between the two different sizes, is bisected, so it's going to be 16 and 16. To get the other parts of our diagonal, we need to do Pythagorean theorem. So we're going to do Pythagorean theorem once with the 34 and the 16. So 34 squared equals 16 squared plus x squared. 34 squared is 1,156 equals 256 plus x squared. So we get x squared equals 900, which means that x is 30. Then we have to do a Pythagorean theorem with the 20 and the 16. So 20 squared equals 16 squared plus y squared. 400 equals 256 plus y squared. So we get 144 equals y squared. Y is 12. So now we can do our area. So our area is equal to 1/2. 16 plus 16 is 32. 12 times 30 is 42. So when we multiply that together, we get our area is 672 meters squared. In 14, this is a special right triangles inside our kite. So if we know that 12 is the 2s side, the shorter diagonal is the s side, the longer diagonal is the s root 3 side. So 12 divided by 2 gets us 6. So our shorter diagonal is 6 and 6. Part of the longer diagonal is 6 root 3. Then using the 45, 45, 90 triangle, we have L and L, so we know the other part. So when I go to do my area, I have 1/2. The shorter diagonal is 6 plus 6, which is 12. The longer diagonal is 6 plus 6 root 3. So we know that half of 12 is 6. So we have 6 times 6 plus 6 root 3. We need to distribute that. So we get 36 plus 36 root 3 centimeters squared.